Welcome back to Rescue Bots Academy Season 2. Today we're taking a look at the episode Rescue Teens. In this episode, the recruits must secretly help a group of teenage wannabe rescuers as they take all the credit and the recruits become kind of jealous.
Okay team, rescue site located.
This is Milford.
So the human population cannot be allowed
To see us in bot mode.
Yes, we know. I would like to point out that this is the first time we're seeing the recruits with their new alt modes after the episode Big Wheels. Or at least this is my first time seeing them in them, because this is the first new episode that I watched after they got their new alt modes. Here we see that Medics is using his new helicopter mode, and later in the episode we'll see Wedge in his new car mode.
Whirl, you and I keep lookout. Transform, then lift away the scaffolding. Can you oversee the entire operation? The humans will never even know we were here.
But before the recruits get a chance to execute their rescue plan...
Who are those guys?
Morning, sir. We heard there's an emergency.
We're
the Rescue Teens!
What?
Wait, what? Who are these kids? Don't they look familiar? And doesn't their theme song sound like a crummy version of the Recruits theme? Yep, these are the Rescue Teens. Hooks, Diggs, Hot Dog, Rotors, and Doc. And they are obviously based on the real Rescue Bot recruits. As we see here, Hooks shares the same color scheme and wide appearance as Hoist. And obviously Hoist and Hooks both begin with an H, and as we'll see later, Hooks even has his own winch just like Hoist. Diggs obviously shares Wedge's color scheme, and like her name implies, she also carries a shovel, just like how Wedge's original mode is a shovel loader. Then we have Hot Dog, who is obviously the teen's counterpart to Hot Shot.
What a show-off.
He doesn't remind you of anyone?
No. Who?
Which I'm surprised that isn't a name that Hot Shot was mistakenly called by.
Lessons. Yes, that's a great idea, Shot Hot.
That was amazing, Hit Show!
It's Hot Shot, actually.
What's wrong, Hot Shoes? Should I call the rescue bots?
It's Hot Shot.
Why did Jerry keep calling you hot sauce?
I have no idea.
Like the others, he shares his color scheme with the recruit he's based on. And he has like a Super Soaker backpack, just like how Hotshot has his water cannons. Also, it took me a minute to realize why Hot Dog has blue elbow and knee pads while the rest of the teams have yellow ones. I think this is a reference to how Hotshot used to be the only recruit with a multi-cog. I guess the other teens need to buy new pads in order to match the other recruits' updated looks. We then have Rotors, who is clearly based on Whirl, although her name sounds more like a spin on Blades. I didn't even mean to make that joke. Get it? Spin? Because Blades and Rotors both spin? Moving on. So Rotors is the teen equivalent of Whirl, with her drone which she uses to provide overwatch. And she even has a hair clip that's exactly like the little detail that Whirl has on her head, which I always thought kind of looked like a hair clip. And if you look at Whirl's original production art, we can see that she originally had it on the side of her head, just like how Rotors is wearing it here. And finally, we have Doc, who is obviously based on Medics, as he is their first aid specialist, and he even has on a backwards red cap, just like Medics' head design. And to push the similarities even farther, some of the rescue teens are even voiced by the same voice actors who voiced their robot recruit counterparts. I can't describe how much I love this. I mean, if you would have just shown me a screenshot of this episode beforehand, I would have assumed that these were all just the recruits in human form. Like either some kind of hollow avatar, or maybe some kind of only human from G1, or human error from animated situation where the recruits are turned into humans. Man, I really want to see that. I'd love a good fish out of water type episode where the recruits actually get to live as humans for a day. Go out and be around other humans without worrying about being caught. Maybe even one of them forget that they're not a transformer anymore, they try to transform out of instinct, and they just fall on their face. Oh well, this is still crazy and I love it. These rescue teens are super cute.
What am I watching?
So the recruits end up having to secretly help the teens as they don't take all factors into account while doing this rescue mission. By the way, when we see Wedge here, we can spot two Bumblebee posters behind him.
I'd like to see them do all that and be in disguise.
If you're supposed to be in disguise, why are there Bumblebee posters behind you? Wedge, did you put those there? I know you love Bumblebee, but you can't just be leaving your posters all around. Back at the academy, the recruits are watching the news when they do a story on the rescue teens, which gives us the fact that apparently the recruits have been doing rescues in Milford for 2 years now. But the news anchor gives the credit to the teens.
Hey, any excuse for my super cool new fire truck mode?
I like how Hotshot references his cute little new fire truck mode. But unfortunately, we don't get to see it because the rescue teens show up.
Uh-oh! That barbecue has a gas canister! And it's about to blow!
I like how smartly the recruits use their abilities in this situation. Whirl using her power-up and energized visor to tell that the propane canister is about to blow. And I really like how Wedge uses his piston punching arms to launch Hotshot. It reminds me of the fastball special, most famously performed by Wolverine and Colossus, although that's not always the case. And even the Transformers themselves have done the maneuver a few times in their history.
Give me a toss, Optimus. I want to teach that bug a lesson. Go get him, Brawn! Gotcha, Beetle Brain!
Crew member Grimlock, can I be of assistance? I am your doom and destruction.
Didn't expect that, did you?
Grimlock blow like flame!
Look, Mom! I can fly! I feel funny.
Me too. Like I'm all wound up and I don't know why.
I believe we are all feeling what humans call jealousy.
Oh, phew. I thought Medics was going to say something else. Wait, how did they not notice the giant robots in the shadows with their glowing eyes in this photo? Wait, they finally go to a zoo like Whirl wanted to, and not only do they spend their time babysitting the rescue teens, but they totally glaze over it as we begin this montage of the recruits watching out for the teens. It is super adorable though, how the montage ends with the rescue teens essentially doing their own version of the Rescue Bots Academy intro.
Go rescue teens!
So the rescue teens go into a fenced-off construction site to save a possum, but they end up causing the machine to go out of control, which sends them sliding down a hill towards the cliff's edge. With no other option, the recruits reveal themselves to the kids and save them from going over.
You guys are really robots?
The recruits take them back to the academy, where Heatwave, Cody, and Wes, yes, Wes briefly appears again in this episode, but yes, they suggest that the teens undergo training to become real first responders. And they even present them with a set of pins to unofficially make them part of the team. Oh, I want one of these pins so bad. Hasbro, why don't you make these? I want this more than anything else I've wanted from this show. Please, 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 Hasbro. Oh, and before I forget, the Cybertronian writing on the lid of the box says ad honorem, which means to honor or for the honor of, which is usually used for some kind of unpaid volunteer work or when you have an honorary degree from a college, university, or in this case, an academy. So they're basically saying that the teens are honorary rescue bots, which just makes me want one of these even more. Oh my Primus, where to begin with this episode? It's just so stinking cute. I love the rescue teens and how they're like little human versions of the rescue bot recruits. It doesn't even bother me that there's no logical way that these kids would just so happen to base their own looks on the recruits when they've never seen them in their robot modes before. I think maybe they got some inspiration from seeing their rescues together in vehicle mode, but that's a huge maybe. And Rotors just so happens to be wearing a hair clip that looks exactly like Whirl's head detail, and Doc just happens to be wearing a backwards red cap that looks exactly like Medix's head design. That is a huge coincidence. Honestly, I don't think this episode would have worked as well if the rescue teens weren't carbon copies of the rescue recruits. Also, I really want to see people cosplay as the rescue teens at a future TFCon. I mean, you already have fans dressing up as human versions of Transformers. And now here we have actual in-universe human versions of Transformers characters. I hope that there's at least one group cosplaying as the rescue teens at the next convention. That would be so awesome. Oh man, what else is there to say about this episode? I love it. I kinda want to see another episode where the recruits and the teens actually team up. Although I wonder if then Wes would get jealous if Diggs is Wedge's partner instead of him. Also, does this mean that now Cody and Wes have their own human recruits to train? Just like how Heatwave and the other senior rescue bots train the recruits? Oh, that would be so cute. Okay, I got to end this episode before I just keep gushing about how cute these kids are. Let me know what you thought of the rescue teens, both the episode and the kids themselves, down in the comments.
It's all rescue teens.
Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you back here for more Transformers Rescue Bots Academy reviews.